Hello, everybody. All right, so happy Friday, everybody. Today is, of course, Friday, November 15th, 2024. We are a little under 2 weeks away from Thanksgiving, of course. So I hope everybody's had a good week this week, and we're wrapping up the week with with some neat news tonight. We're gonna give people a chance to give people a few minutes to come in before we talk about what's on tap for tonight. So I hope everybody, as I said, having is getting set for having a good weekend here. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Winnie the Pooh Bear, be there. Me and you. So is Winnie the Pooh Bear. I gotta be there. Me and you. Only Winnie the Pooh. Life is like a hurricane here in Duckburg. Race cars, lasers, aeroplanes. It's a duck blur. Might solve a mystery or rewrite history. DuckTales. Ooh, you've been waiting, I've been waiting. DuckTales. Ooh, you've been waiting, I've been waiting. DuckTales. And then the danger out to find you when you grab onto some DuckTales. Ooh, you've been waiting, I've been waiting. DuckTales. Ooh, you've been waiting, I've been waiting. DuckTales. Woo! Let's see. Let's see what else. Let's see. Hong Kong Fooey, no one super guy. Hong Kong Fooey, quicker than the human eye. Chicky chong, chicky wong, wong, wong. Hong Kong Fooey, that's terrific. All right, well, now we're at the 3 minute mark. So I guess it would be a good time to talk about what's on tap for tonight. So, tonight we're going to be looking at, of course, some news coming out of Netflix as they're doing an adaptation of I guess an animated adaptation of the Devil May Cry franchise as, let's see, producer Adi Shankar reveals that Capcom rejected his initial animated series pitch. So we'll be looking at that. We'll also be talking a little bit about this upcoming tomorrow's tis the season for Tunes lineup from MeTV Tunes. As of course they've been in early holiday mode here, giving us some classic animated Christmas movies. Be talking about those, and then of course the wrestling wrap up, getting all caught up with all the WWE, AEW, and TNA news, and then of course we'll have this day in each history. So with all that being said, why don't we go ahead and get started right now. And of course, as always, guys, if you haven't already, if you guys can like and share this thing, see if we can get some more friendly people in here to engage. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions. I'll try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. So, with all that being said, let's get going here. Let's see. Get into this first article here. I just gotta fix something here real quick. All right, so hopefully that will fix that. Alrighty then, so let's get into this. Alrighty then. Alright, so Netflix Devil May Cry producer Adi Shankar reveals Capcom rejected his initial animated series pitch. Quote, I wanted to bring, in smaller quotes, Dino Crisis back. Unquote. Article by Nicola Pajtic Teach, published earlier today. There's Regina, voiced by Stephanie Morgenstern. Now, Stephanie Morgenstern, of course, for she's a Canadian voice actress. Probably her most famous role was taking over the role of Sailor Venus in the when Cloverway took over the dub of Sailor Moon back in the '90s, back in the late '90s, early 2000s. For some of the later seasons starting with like Sailor Moon S, I believe, or Supers. So, anyways, we get ready to move on here. So, according to Netflix's Devil May Cry lead producer Adi Shankar, when he first approached Capcom looking to adapt one of their IPs to the small screen, he originally hoped to be handed the keys to the fan favorite Demon Hunting franchise, but rather, he originally hoped to be handed the keys to the fan favorite Demon Hunting franchise, but rather the long, something went amiss here in terms of their way they put this, but rather the long dead Dino Crisis. Dante Johnny Young Bosch is to ready to bing bing wahoo in yeah, Johnny Young Bosch, of course, known as the Black Ranger in Power Rangers, also of course Ichigo Kurosaki, providing the English voice for Ichigo Kurosaki in Bleach, as well as Genma Shiranai in Naruto, among other things. Let's see now. All right. Anyways, so ever since the last entry launched roughly 24 years ago, fans of the dinosaur-centric survival series have long hoped that that at they would someday see the return of Regina, the red-haired agent of the secret operation Raid Team, or SORT, and the lead protagonist of the first two games. So much so, in fact, that when asked by a recent Capcom poll as to which game they thought should get a sequel, reboot, or remake, fans overwhelmingly picked Dino Crisis. In doing so, having both the second place leaving both the second place Mega Man and third place Devil May Cry in the dust. Unfortunately, per Shankar, seems Capcom is dead set on keeping Regina hostage and far away from the many who want her to make an appearance on modern hardware. Yeah. So, granted, there seem to be some editing issues here. People, I guess, don't know how to use spell check, as it were. right. Let's see. And there she is again in the game from 1999. So, taking to Twitter on November 8th, which is about a week ago, the mind behind Netflix's Castlevania and Captain Laserhawk series, seemingly apropos of nothing, shared his thoughts on the mainline Dino Crisis games, praising the first two and expressing disappointment at the third. Quote, Dino Crisis 1 nailed the survival horror vibe, blending the tension of Resident Evil with the sheer terror of being hunted by dinosaurs. Perfect, unquote. He wrote, quote, Dino Crisis 2 took it up a notch with fast-paced action, incredible level design, unquote. Quote, why am I telling you this? Unquote, Shankar then asked, quote, because when I first went to Capcom in 2017, my mission was clear. I wanted to bring Dino Crisis back. But in an awesome twist of fate, they sold me Devil May Cry instead. I didn't think Devil May Cry would even be on the table. Now, mind you, even if Dino Crisis seems to be the most popular game, Devil May Cry as like an animated franchise, as an animated franchise, is probably, and that and Mega Man have both been solid performers, in terms of the television front. So, well, anyways, and then here's, I guess, a tweet from Addy, on the full tweet here. In response to this reveal, users on social media poured out to both lament Dino Crisis' continued lack of content and Shankar's missed opportunity. On Twitter, a fan by the handle at Jen the Witch said, quote, I truly hope this series is revived someday. I've been dreaming of it for years. We need Regina back. They call themselves Genesis there. Another fan of the Dino Crisis franchise, at Jaw Muncher, confirmed the sentiment. Quote, bruh, Capcom really leaving Dino Crisis fans out to dry, unquote. Quote, I hope you don't give up on Dino Crisis even after the no, in smaller quote, wrote, at Dino Crisis fan OF, quote, we fans are counting on you, unquote. Yeah, you had to almost kind of wonder why if this is a very popular game and people really want to see an adaptation of it, you wonder why Capcom would be like fighting that. It doesn't really make much sense there. Um, Hey, let me just take care of something real quick here. Oh, okay. All right. So, in adding insult to injury, instead of a new full-fledged Dino Crisis game or even a remaster remake of the classics, Capcom instead treated fans to their dino-themed multiplayer shooter, Exor Primal, in July 2023. Though it allowed players to don high-tech mech suits to fight hordes of dinosaurs, the fact that it was a brand new IP that didn't even make mention of Regina, in parentheses here, though the character of Majesty, a red-haired female soldier, whose name is related to the concept of royalty, unquote, turned many players off of the game. Um, de- uh, only deepened fans' frustration, which in turn led to Primal's extinction just a year after release. So Majesty, voiced here by Curzia Bajos, receives new orders from Exor Primal. So sometimes subbing a similar game for one that's been well received is not going to get over with a lot of people. Uh, Dino Crisis as a franchise remains tragically underrated, and sadly, with Shankar's dream of being allowed to adapt it having been rejected by Capcom, it only stands to slip further into obscurity. However, not everything is lost for the cult classic franchise, and while Shankar is fully committed to Devil May Cry, he is not giving up on bringing Regina to the small screen. Well, maybe if he succeeds, maybe if he shows that he can sell. Well, Devil May Cry sold itself. It's, as I said, one of the more popular adaptations out there. So, you know, but again, you have to almost wonder if you have so many fans who are wanting, this IP to come out. Why is Capcom so, you know, so reluctant? You know, in a follow-up tweet, um, in a follow-up tweet, the producer asserted, "quote Don't worry, my um, my Devil May Cry show is awesome, and I have a very long-term plan for it. I am committed, but yes, one day perhaps. I usually use my powers. I usually use my powers to resurrect Dino Crisis." And there's some editing issues here. With that said, Shankar's Devil May Cry anime will land on Netflix in April 2025 with Johnny Young Bosch, who fans of the video games might recognize as the voice of Dante's nephew Nero, set to provide the voice of the series' silverhaired protagonist. Um, well, I actually already thought he was doing Dante's voice even before that, but anyways. Yeah, so so there's the end of that article. So let's talk a little bit about, of course, what I was mentioning for tomorrow's Me TV Tunes. Tis a season for tunes. Of course, starting Saturdays at um, 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 Central, 1 Pacific. So let's see, all right, oh yeah, right here. For tomorrow, for Let me try something here. I think that works. All right. So, anyways, so tomorrow, MeTV Tunes will be having tis the season for tunes, 4-hour special, in which in which in which they for a 4-hour period from 4 Eastern from 4 Eastern to 8 for I'm sorry, from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific. They show Christmas movies, animated Christmas movies, animated Christmas classics. Some newer than others. So on tomorrow's schedule, of course, um, they'll be showing starting at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 Pacific. Sonic Christmas Blast, in which Sonic the Hedgehog must stop the evil Dr. Robotnik from from ruining Christmas. Then on at 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific, a Hollywood Hounds Christmas, in which three dogs enter a singing contest during the Christmas season. Um, then you have at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 Pacific, Yogi Bear's All Star Comedy Christmas Caper. Yogi poses as Santa in a department store where he tries to help a girl's Christmas dream come true. Then at 5:30 Eastern, 2:30 Pacific, the episode Yo Yogi, which has Yippee Yo Yogi. There's no business like snow business, in which the first in Yippee Yo Yogi, Yogi struggles to cope with a rampaging bull on a Wild West day in Yippee Yo Yogi, and then the squad sets out to stop the abominable snow dude from threatening skiers, and there's no business like snow business. Then at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific, probably my all-time favorite Christmas classic. Probably my favorite all-time Christmas animated classic. Yogi's First Christmas, in which Yogi, Boo Boo, and Cindy must save Christmas. Two villains set out to ruin the holiday. So, classic indeed. Anyways, hmm. All right. As I said, if you haven't already, you guys can help out by liking and sharing the stream. See if we can get some more friendly people in here to engage. That'd be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and/or ask questions. I'm gonna go look to see one more time if there's maybe anything more fine to talk about here. Um, we already did that, of course. Right now, just well, let's see. We're in the middle of the, of course, anime. In the middle of the anime release season, so so that's a little tricky, of course. You know, but also, and of course, things are things are kind of slow right now. We do, of course, some channels already bringing up some channels are actually already bringing up let's see, some channels are actually already bringing up holiday stuff. So as I was mentioning, the Me TV Tune stuff. Was thinking about doing that one, but that one's got spoilers in it. Let's see. Let's see if we can find some other. Yeah, and I know that again, the big some of the bigger news in comics right now, of course, is just everybody's reaction. Everybody's reactions to the election, but we're trying to get away from that. I'm trying to get away from that and focus a little bit more on just good content. We don't need to always. All right, so let's see. What time is it now? It's like 28 minutes. So let's see. What can I talk about now? Let's see. Um, what can we talk about now? Hmm. I'm just thinking. Let's see. La 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 la. Hmm. I guess I can go ahead and at least preview, what to kind of expect over the next few weeks here, um, on MeTV's "Tis the Season to Be Tis the Season to Be Tunes." See, so we talked about, of course, tomorrow. We already talked about what's going to be shown tomorrow. Then next Saturday on the 23rd, they're going to start off at 1 p.m. With a rerun of Yogi's First Christmas, just like they reran um, Flintstone's Christmas Carol last week. that oh. Let's see if that works now. All right. So, anyways, and then after that, of course, at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific, next Sunday, very Bugs Bunny Christmas from Bugs Bunny and Friends, followed by at 7 p.m. At 7:30, a pair of Totally Tuned In episodes. 7:30, 4 and 4:30 Pacific. Then on Saturday, November 30th, special edition of Christmas Cartoon All Stars, followed by The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle. Basically, a couple hours there. Anyways. Right. Alright, so let me see now. Okay, so let's see now. So now we're coming up. We're at 33 minutes here. Let's see now. I know I keep saying let's. Let's see. All right. Well, so I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the wrestling wrap up then. As of course we do have some stuff. So let's see. Tonight's SmackDown. I can find it here. Tonight's SmackDown from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Will feature we'll talk as the Nia Jax defends the WWE Women's title against Naomi, and the Motor City Machine Guns will be defending the tag team titles against the Street Profits. Thus far, the overall since the Motor City Machine Guns have come into the WWE, there's obviously there's been all around. There's been quite a bit of of popularity for them. They've a lot of people have had a lot of good things to say about them as they've seemed to kind of come into their own quite a bit. So, all right. So with that, all right. So, anyways, so a couple other pieces of news coming out as we're basically about a couple weeks out from Survivor Series, of course. Um, so as John Cena had announced his retirement tour coming up in 2025, one person who's confirmed that he will not be facing Cena in it during his retirement tour is Kurt Angle. As in a recent interview he gave, he pointed out all the injuries he had, basically all the injuries he's had and all the surgery he's recently had. Will keep him from really being involved in any kind of wrestling match. Also, there's been some speculation that Wade Barrett may come out of basically in ring retirement to maybe potentially start a short feud with Drew McIntyre. You know, Wade Barrett, who of course was known as Bad News Barrett for a while there. Um, proceeded to so he proceeded to anyways, sorry. Moving on to AEW news, as they're just a little over 1 week out from they're just 1 week out from a little over 1 week out from wait, today's Friday. It is 1 week out from oh yeah, okay, so let me do this. So on tomorrow night's Collision, as they continue to prepare for next week's full gear, Mina Shirakawa will be taking on Harley Cameron in a singles match. Johnny TV takes on Daniel Garcia as Daniel Garcia prepares for his upcoming shot at the TNT title against Jack Perry at Full Gear. Shelton Benjamin will be taking on Commander. Powerhouse Hobbs will be taking on Bulk Bronson. In the final Full Gear 4-Way Contenders Series tag team match, the Acclaimed of Anthony Bowens and Max Caster will be taking on the La Facción Ingobernables duo of Beast Mordos and Roosh. And in a no disqualification match, Mariah May will be defending the AEW Women's World Title against Anna Jay. Now, speaking of we'll have a little bit more AEW news, or at least some speculation in a moment here. Anyways, so with that, we're gonna go back to last night's Impact. Talk about what went down on last night's Impact. Actually, even before that, let me just mention this. So last week we talked about how Mike Bailey dropped the X Division title to Moose. Well, I guess it was finally revealed why that happened. So Speedball Mike Bailey's contract with TNA um, came to an end as of November 1st. Now, the reason he was on of course, the November 7th edition of Impact because that show was taped on October 27th. It's also been rumored that Speedball Mike Bailey may be making his way to AEW. People are hoping that he'll get a chance to shine there, even though with TNA's bloated roster, that might be more difficult than people realize. So anyways, on last night's Impact, Mike Santana defeated Casey Navarro in a one-on-one match. The Rascals defeated Alan Angels and Jake Christ. The Northern Armory of Josh Alexander, Judas Icarus, and Travis Wins defeated the TNA team of Jonathan Gresham, Steve Macklin, and Eric Young. Joe Hendry defeated Ryan Nemeth. Rosemary defeated Jada Stone. In a non-title match, Nick Nemeth defeated Brian Myers. As it was, I think, recently announced that Nemeth will be defending the TNA World title against Eddie Edwards at Victory Road, which is 2 weeks from tonight. So, anyways, so that's all that we have for the wrestling wrap-up. So why don't we go ahead and move on to the This Day in Each History segment. And let me just 2023, 1999, and then 2019. All right, so with that, all right, so today, of course, is Friday, November 15th, 2024. Let's take a look back at this day in each history. First off, we're going to head back 25 years ago today, as on this date, 25 years ago today, WCW held its Go Home Monday Nitro before its Mayhem event on this date from the Altel Arena in Little Rock, Arkansas. The main event on the show saw an anything goes street fight between Kevin Nash and Sid Vicious, in which ended in a no contest. There were, I guess, a few WCW World Heavyweight Title Tournament quarterfinal matches. Including Chris Benoit advancing over Scott Hall, Bret Hart advancing over Kidman, also Jeff Jarrett advancing over Buff Bagwell, and Sting advancing over Lex Luger. In a House of Pain tag team match, Eddie Guerrero and Conan defeated Dean Malenko and Perry Saturn. Rick Steiner defended the WCW World Television title against Sid Vicious. It ended up in a no contest. A 3-on-2 handicap match, Berlin and the Wall defeated the Misfits and Vampiro. In a 5-way pinata on a pole match held went to a no contest between El Dandy, Juventud Guerrera, Psychosis, Silver King, and Viano 5. In a 2-on-1 handicap match, Creative Control of Gerald and Patrick defeated Booker T, and the night opened up with a hardcore match in which Norman Smiley defeated Jimmy Hart. So that all happened 25 years ago. Okay, getting ready to move on to the next. Getting ready to move on to the next. Getting ready to move on to the next piece of niche history, and we actually move ahead to 2019, 5 years ago today. On this date, 5 years ago today, Genius Brands Yama Yama was canceled. The Netflix series Yama Yama from Genius Brands was canceled on this date back in 2019. 5 years ago today, Netflix's Genius Brands Yama Yama was canceled on this date 5 years ago today. And finally, on this date in 2023, 1 year ago today, Red Goblin number 10, the 10th and final issue of Red Goblin from Marvel Comics went on sale on this date 1 year ago today. So the story was called, there's no title of the story. Sold for $3.99 with 32 pages. Written by Alex Packnadell. Penciled by Chris Campana. Roberto Poggi did the ink. Lettering was done by Joe Caramagna. And then David Cornell did the coloring. So 1 year ago today, the 10th and final issue of Red Goblin went on sale on newsstands on this date 1 year ago today. So with that, I thank everybody for being here. I'm sorry if I seemed a little distracted tonight. My computer's been having some issues. There's still one issue, basically overall it's working, but still one issue I'm dealing with YouTube here that I'm trying to figure out. But other than that, hope you all enjoyed the show, even with all my humming and hawing. Hopefully I'll have it fixed by Sunday when we do the hopefully I'll figure it all out by Sunday when we do the historical comic retrospect. So with that, I thank everybody for being here, and I hope to see everybody back here. Well, okay, don't forget this Sunday, of course, I'll have Metal from the Vomitorium here as my co-host, as we'll be looking back to comics that went on sale in 1940. April of 1940. We'll be focusing in on the Monsconian Menace storyline. With that, I thank everybody for being here, and I hope to see everybody back here on Sunday. Bye.